The woman lay on the beach. Then she asked her husband to help apply some sunscreen. After finishing, her husband went into the sea alone to swim. No one knows how long passed, but when Annie woke up, she was shocked to find her husband had mysteriously disappeared. Even his phone couldn't be reached. He asked a nearby couple if they had seen her husband, but they had just arrived and hadn't seen him either. Annie quickly threw on her jacket and rushed toward the beach. She asked all the tourists around, but no one had seen any trace of her husband. She began to suspect that her husband may have drowned. Anxiously, she sought help from the beach's lifeguards. Then she boarded a speedboat to search at sea. They searched the surface of the water for a long time, but they couldn't find a single floating object. By this time, her husband had been missing for over 3 hours. Annie had no choice but to report it to the police. Unexpectedly, the police burst into laughter upon hearing the case. Because the beach was very small, and after 3 hours with no one found, there was only one explanation: her husband had secretly left on his own. The police simply took down a few notes and told Annie to wait for news at home. A month soon passed, but still there was no word. During that time, Annie came to the beach every day and stared at the sea. She hoped to find some clue about her husband, but he never appeared. One day, she suddenly received a phone call. Excited, she thought it was her husband, but when she answered, she realized it was just a call from the hotel's customer service. Annie sank into deep despair. Where exactly had her husband gone? As the summer vacation ended, Annie had no choice but to return to school to teach. On her first day back, she was surprised to discover that the lifeguard she once asked for help had become her new student. What puzzled her even more was that Jack would come to chat with her after every class. He even invited her out for dinner in the evening. Annie knew exactly what Jack meant. She firmly refused him because she believed her husband was still alive. The first thing she did after returning home was to open her husband's computer and review his past work videos. To her surprise, she found that a woman often chatted with her husband in those videos, and the woman's tone clearly showed affection toward him. Annie felt that something was definitely wrong with this woman. She suspected that this woman might have something to do with her husband's disappearance, but she had never seen that woman before, so she called her best friend to help identify her. But even her friend didn't recognize the woman. The next day, Annie suddenly received a call from the police.